Good evening, it's nice to be with you again. On the show tonight, we've got a rather unusual snake charming act featuring the world's most mature performing snakes. The act is called Abdul and His Load of Old Cobras.
And we've got a bell ringer who'll show you how to peel bells, and a banana ringer who'll show you how to peel bananas.
But first the news. Answering complaints about the high cost of a new £90,000 public lavatory built recently in a Midlands town, a council spokesman said, "It may sound a lot of money for a public toilet, but we can assure ratepayers that it'll be worth every penny spent."
In the World Plumbing Championships in Oslo today, the Dutch entry was flooded, the Icelandic entry froze, and the Chinese entry was disqualified for flushing from right to left. The British entry said that it would be around first thing in the morning.
And now, news of some unfortunate incidents at a circus in York this evening. The management took action against the human cannonball and fired him. They said his act was over the heads of the audience.
And the police were called to the circus to arrest the whole of the Prague trampoline team after complaints that 6 checks had bounced.
In the ensuing confusion, the lion escaped and threw the whole circus into a panic. The strongest man in the world fainted, and the India rubber man completely erased the tattooed lady.
The thinnest man in the world had a narrow escape, and the bearded lady had a close shave. And now a sketch, which we feel is one laugh from beginning to end. But we're hoping for more.
There is a message for Admiral Sir Compost Heap. Will Admiral Sir Compost Heap please come to reception?
Was that Paul who you were talking?
No, not my name.
Oh, sorry. Was it for... No, sorry.
Message for Admiral Sir Compost Heap. Will Admiral Sir Compost Heap please come to reception?
Practically 6 bells. I think I'll take a turn around the prom before you know. Turn around the prom. Pull the other one, it's got 6 bells on it. That were Admiral Sir Compost Heap.
No doubt about it. He was probably scared we were all going to laugh. It's rather an extraordinary name.
As if we do a thing like that. I mean, it's not his fault he's called Compost Heap. His parents' fault for being called Compost Heap before him. I mean, a man called Compost shouldn't marry a woman called Heap. It's not his fault, is it? It's not a thing we'd laugh at, is it? Compost Heap. Compost bloody Heap, eh? Compost Heap.
Oh, dear. I used to know a girl, actually, called, Angela Compost Heap. She was one of the Somerset compost heaps.
Well, there's a load of them down that way, yeah.
We have a telegram for Mr. Algernon Bedpan. Will Mr. Algernon Bedpan please come to reception?
Just nipping off to the gents.
He's not going to the gents for a start-off. He is Algernon Bedpan.
No need to go to the gents with a name like Bedpan. Awfully sorry.
There's a young lady at reception asking for Archdeacon Rumpo. Archdeacon Rumpo, please.
Oh, well, sitting here won't get the sermon written, will it? No.
Rumpo by name and Rumpo by nature, eh?
Oh. I used to take out a girl once, called Virginia Rumpo. Very, very embarrassing. She eventually married a chappie called Henry Drawers. And now she's called...
Oh, don't tell me, I can see it coming.
Lady Fosgrave.
Yeah.
Henry Fosgrave.
We have an emergency call for Major Messup. Major Messup, please.
All right. I'm Major Messup. I'm not ashamed of it. What's in a name?
Mess up your name and mess up your nature, eh?
Damn fine military name, Messup. There have been mess-ups at every British battle since Agincourt.
Will Mr. Cornelius Vanderpuff please come to the doctor's office? Mr. Cornelius Vanderpuff.
I wonder who this was for. Who is this Vanderpuff? Well, off with the noggin now, I know. Cheery bye, my fellow Englishmen.
That's not an English mince. He's a Dutchman and I'm a poof.
It's frightfully awkward having embarrassing names, don't you think?
I must be, yes.
I don't actually think. I I caught your name.
No. No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have.
Will Mr. Ivor Bignose please go to the kiosk where a message awaits him, calling Mr. Ivor Bignose?
Ivor Bignose, that's your name. No, I'm not Ivor Bignose.
No, no. Oh.
I'm awfully sorry, but I did think for a moment there that your name was Ivor Bignose.
Look, if I had a name like Ivor Bignose, I wouldn't come to a place with a bloody loudspeaker, would I?
No.
We have a message for Alderman Fat Pimple. Will Alderman Fat Pimple please go to the foyer and meet Mrs. Fat Pimple?
Well, I best be going then.
Nice to have met you, Mr. Fat Pimple. Mustn't keep Mrs. Fat Pimple waiting, or all the little fatty wacky pimples.
Look, I can't help my name, can I? Eh?
Knickers.
Yes, who called?
I lost love before, got mad and closed the door. But you said try just once more. I took you for the one, now I'm having so much fun. You treated me so kind, I'm about to blow my mind. You made me so very happy, I'm so glad you came into my life. Others were untrue, but when it came to loving you, I'd spend my whole life with you. 'Cause you gave me to control, you rule my very soul. I want to show you that loving you is where it's at, 'cause you made me so happy, baby. I'm so glad you came into my life. So much it seems that you're even in my dreams. I can hear you, I hear you call me. I'm so in love with you, all I ever want to do is thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. You make me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into my life. I said you made me so happy, baby. Oh, but you made me so happy, baby, and I'm so glad you came into my life.
Good evening. I'd like to speak to you tonight about amusing things to do with loafers. But I'm a Ministry of Transport spokesman, so I can't. So I'm going to talk to you about transport. Now, a lot of exciting changes are taking place in British transport. Next week, for instance, we are introducing a new experimental roundabout at Chelmsford. There we are. Now, if this roundabout is a success, we will introduce 400 more. If it's a complete failure, we will introduce 500 more. Now, how do you use it? Well, you avoid Chelmsford. For those of you who can't avoid it, if you are coming towards London, follow the arrows, and if you're coming towards Chelmsford, dodge the arrows. If you live in Chelmsford, move. And if you can't move, you've probably got cramp in your BRM. In which case, give up driving altogether and do what Long John Silver did, hop on a bus. Taking care not to stick your crutch through the window. We're also introducing new experimental zebra crossings marked with an experimental flashing zebra. Here is a zebra. If the tail lights up, cross. If the front lights up, don't cross. If anything else lights up, fetch a vet. And now something even more revolutionary. Next week, the Minister of Transport in person, and he is in person, will open Britain's first experimental drive-in swimming pool. Now, we're building 200 of these. One in London, one in Birmingham, one in Liverpool, and due to an administrative mistake, 197 in Watford. So, So you will all be able to go for a nice swim without getting out of your car and vice versa. Advanced motorists, of course, will be able to drive into the pool off the high board. Very advanced motorists will be able to do it backwards, and good luck to them. We are also opening a new experimental Ministry of Transport safari car park, where you will be able to see literally hundreds of cars in their natural habitat, without ever getting off your elephant. And on the back of your elephant, if you're brave enough, you can stick a sticker which says, "We've seen the lorries of Longleat." But don't forget to stand well back. Last year, in addition to all this, we built no less than 629 miles of new road. And when we link it up to the old roads, you'll be able to use it. But all this costs money. Your money. Nevertheless, we shall keep open every mile of our existing railways. The only thing we're going to cancel will be the trains. But you will still be able to use the lines as footpaths. There'll be picnic areas where you can sleep or eat or simply read between the lines. The fast service to Brighton will take 23 hours, and if your clothes get dirty, you can always change at Haywards Heath. Ah, thank you. And finally, here is the very latest up-to-the-minute news on the exhilarating and exciting projects we at the Ministry have laid on for all of you in the next 10 years. They're cancelled. And now I'd like to end by giving you some impression of our new experimental foghorn. Good night.
The trail of death and destruction that had dogged the footsteps of our overweight hero, Piggy Malone, and his much-maligned assistant, Charlie Farley, continued relentlessly. The beautiful Blanche Brimston, who was admired throughout the country and whose puppies had won prizes at Crufts, was now the only surviving member of the household. The latest victim of the killer was Pike, the butler, who had been discovered in the kitchen, hanging from the bell rope. Piggy Malone returned to the dining room where Blanche and Charlie waited anxiously. He was obviously preparing dinner when it occurred. The rest of the staff left days ago.
It's terrible, terrible. What are we going to do?
Well, we could eat out.
Oh, yeah, that's an idea.
No. Don't worry. I'll prepare dinner. You stay here and rest. You must be worn out, poor things.
Do you think we ought to let her go on her own, Chief?
Yeah, we'll have to risk it, Charlie. I'm starving. Anyway, I want to talk to you. Why should anyone want to murder Pike? I mean, surely he wouldn't inherit the money, would he?
It could be an entirely different motive, Chief. I've taken the liberty of drawing up one of my charts, listing all the suspects, cross-referencing all the various motives, and all the methods the crime could have been committed by. I think you'll... Well, there we are, Chief. You'll notice that I've used code words so that no one can understand it, should it fall into the wrong hands.
Good work. I presume you can understand it, though, can you?
Oh, yes, it's all in my mind. Now, you notice that in this column, I've listed the various methods of death that could possibly be used. For example, balloons, trouble and strife, glug, 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 gardens of Babylon. And over here...
Hang on. What's wrong with me?
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Yes, of course. Balloons means blowing up. Blow up. Balloons, you see. Trouble and strife, knife.
Huh?
Glug, 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 drowning, you see. And the gardens of Babylon, hanging. Hanging gardens of Babylon.
What's that there? Potatoes.
Oh, that's nothing.
Nothing?
No, that was just an empty space. Whenever I've got an empty space, I thought...
Oh, I see. And you really think this chart is going to tell us who's done all these murders?
Well, I think you'll find if we study it for long enough, yes. Sooner or later, the killer will emerge.
Dinner will be ready in 15 minutes. Oh, sorry, did I interrupt something?
Not at all, madam. Your entrance was very timely. Very timely indeed.
Ah, good. Perhaps you'll open a bottle of wine.
Good God. Blanche Brimston. Why didn't I think of that before?
You mean that she committed those horrible crimes?
Why not?
Well, what makes you say that?
Motive, opportunity, they're all there. But there's one reason which far outweighs the rest, Charlie.
What's that?
She's the only one that isn't dead.
Fooled all along. Nothing but a big front.
Just a series of bullets.
Sticks out a mile, really, when you think of it.
I don't know how she keeps it up. Charlie, there's a couple of points I'd like to discuss. I'm talking about dinner. Do you realise it's in 15 minutes?
Oh, good God, and she's going to prepare it with her own fair hands.
Ever heard of poison?
Oh, my goodness, we'll have to eat it, you know. I mean, otherwise she suspects something.
Exactly. I wonder what devilish concoction her warped mind is going to produce.
There we are, Miss Claire. Eat them all up and make you a big bowl.
No, really, no. That's far too many for me. You have those. I'll have yours.
Nonsense. I wouldn't hear of it.
Look, I insist. They give me indigestion.
Oh, very well. You like beans, do you, Charlie?
Oh, yes.
Then you had this large helping.
I say, Chief,
Yeah?
I think I got the beans you started with.
Oh, good, yes, that's right.
There we are.
That's it, yes. Thanks.
Well, let's eat up.
Yeah.
They'll be getting cold.
Yeah.
You know, it's silly. I have my own plate back. I remember the little crack on the side. Oh, come on. There's plenty more. Eat up.
And so our two pathetic heroes ate a frightening three-course meal of beans, and more beans. And after a hair-raising cup of coffee, they all retired to bed with indigestion. And outside, fog began to build up in the channel. Well, I'm not sleeping with her.
Well, I'm not. I'm having the camp bed.
Oh, no, that's my camp bed. That's my camp bed. I'm having that. You'll have to go in.
Look, whose idea was it to lug the camp bed up here anyway? Why bother to take camp bed all the way to country house, you said? Carrying coals to Newcastle, you said. Well, your coals have come home to roost, mate, so you can put that in your pipe and smoke it. You've burned your boats, and I'm going to lie in it, so there.
What's going on, boys?
Oh, we're just arguing about who's going to sleep with you.
Oh, why not both of you? It's a very big bed. There's plenty of room for all of us. And you did say you'd protect me.
Oh dear, I can't. Look, I haven't got any pyjamas. Look. Oh, you've got some pyjamas, Chief.
What?
Well, what about you? It'll have to be you.
No, hang on.
Don't worry. I know what we can do. Come with me. Both of you. I like wearing men's pajama tops. Don't you find it attractive, Charlie?
Well, it wouldn't matter much if I did, would it? Couldn't do much about it in this lot, could I?
I think it's adorable. Don't you, Mr. Malone?
Don't ask me. Look, I feel ridiculous like this.
All in a good cause. Come on, into bed. Oh, I'll just clean my teeth. I shan't be a moment.
Give me a hand into bed, then.
Oh, yeah. Hey, why have you got your hands inside the trousers, anyway? If she attacks now, you're defenseless, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm holding a blunt instrument inside here.
What is it?
A brass candlestick. Have you got your automatic?
Yeah. Tucked inside my matching briefs. What do you reckon she's doing in there? We better put her in the middle, Charlie.
Yes. At least that way, Chief, we'll know where she is. Anyway, I don't want to sleep next to you and not while you're wearing that nightie.
What are you talking about? I'm not. What's that?
Poison.
No doubt about it. But how?
Exactly.
We all ate the beans, And we all drank the coffee. And no one ate or drank anything else. We all came to bed. She went to clean her teeth. My God, the toothpaste!
Precisely. The poison was in the stripes.
Professor! But you're dead.
It would appear not.
So the Professor had not died after all. Piggy Malone was stunned. Charlie Farley's brain began to race. Had the Professor seen him? Where had he left his blunt instrument? Why hadn't he followed his mother's advice and become a window dresser? One thing was certain. There would be very little sleep for anyone that night.
I walk along the city streets. You used to walk along with me. And every step I take recalls how much in love we used to be. Oh, how can I forget you when there is always something there to remind me? Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. When shadows fall, I pass a small cafe where we would dance at night. And I can hear recalling how it felt to kiss and hold you tight. Oh, how can I forget you when there is always something there to remind me? Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. Oh, oh, oh. If you should find you miss the sweet and tender love we used to share, just make your way to that cafe where we would go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you when there is always something there to remind me? Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. Oh, oh, oh. I'll never love another, baby. I never will forget you, baby. You'll always be a part of me.
Good evening. Well, this evening, I'm going to tell you how to make Fanny Cradock. Or, on second thoughts, I'll tell you a joke. No, it's about a chap, actually, who went into a moneylender's, and he said, I want to borrow £20. By the way, this parcel, this has nothing to do with this week's show. Or, for that matter, next week's show. Or any other show, really. So, might as well forget about it, really. I actually only brought it out here because if I leave it back there, people will muck about with it and look up it and one thing and another, you know. So we'll just, try to forget about it, really. It's the best thing to do. Try to forget about it. And, we'll just do that. Just sort of ignore it, really. Pay very little attention to it and try not to look at it, if you can avoid it. There we are. Now, this chap goes into the moneylender's and he said, I'd like to borrow some money. You see, so the moneylender said, oh, yes, because money lending is rather a depressing business. I mean, you've only got to stand out there near the tea machine for 5 minutes to know what it feels like to be a moneylender. And this chap says, I'm going over to the continent for a few days and I'd like to borrow about £20. So the moneylender said, well, if you've got some sort of security. So the chap said, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll leave you my Rolls Royce, which is standing outside your front door, you see. So the moneylender said, that sounds reasonable enough. I'll put it in the garage, and if you don't come back, it's mine. Okay, so a week later, the chap comes back, claims his car, pays the moneylender £20 plus 50p interest, and he's just leaving, and the moneylender said to him, tell me something. Why does a man like you, with a big car, lovely suit, trip to Paris, have to come to me to borrow £20 plus 50p interest? And the man said to him, will you tell me somewhere else I can park a Rolls for 10 bob a week? All right, if you must know, this is a little something I picked up in the war surplus shop. And it's the wife's birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to give it to her. I know she'll be rather surprised, because she was expecting Sacha Distel. Now, even now, I'm not sure if I've done the right thing, but it did seem such a bargain. You see, this cost £5,000 to make, slashed to 30 bob. Now, the man in the shop said to me, you're lucky, he said, I've just slashed that. Now, actually, I never went to the war surplus shop to buy this at all, you know. I went in to ask if they'd got any ex-commando string vests to fit a 5-year-old. And the man said they'd be getting some in. Now, good heavens, the bargains I've had out of that shop. Now, look, this watch, for instance, this watch tells you the correct time in 27 different countries. Unfortunately, England is not one of them. Good morning, Lagos. And good night, Vienna. I suppose, you know, meaning that, you know, this actually, I can tell the time in Lagos and Vienna, yeah, on this watch. And Birmingham. And London, Shepherd's Bush. By the way this is going, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, I suppose there must be people among you who are saying to themselves, why does he go around looking for bargains? He's on the telly. He must be worth a fortune. No. Oh, wish I hadn't done that. One of my eyes has come loose. Now, please don't think the BBC don't pay us enough, all this moaning. It's the tax people that are onto us, you know. It's the old days, the tax people. The old days when you could send them a £5 and 2 tickets for Z cars are over. I mean, good gracious, yes. I went to see my local taxman last week. I said, good morning. He said, good morning, you little swine. Where's the money? And it's no good pleading ignorance, because they've got new methods. They've got this enormous computer all along one wall, and they feed all your facts in, and when it stops, they bang your head against it. And they can get very nasty if you upset them, you know. One fellow lost his P45. They keep him in a jar. Now, I was discussing money troubles recently. with a chap who lives across the road from me, and he said, you think you've got worries about money? He said, I am in the hands of a psychiatrist, he said. I said, how can you be worried about money? He said, you've got a house twice as big as mine, 3 cars, a yacht, and your kids at a private school. He said, that's it. I only earn 17 quid a week.
The river's flowing up the hill. It keeps moving, I keep still. Some folks say that thinking makes you blind. And when the wind is blowing from behind, it blows my mind. Painted girls and neon light, Lord, you made the darkness bright. The hole in my blue jeans is hard to find. But when the wind is blowing from behind, it blows my mind. I'll go home and change my clothes, brush my hair and blow my nose. A barrel organ's life is one long grind. And when the wind is blowing from behind, it blows my mind. And when the wind is blowing from behind, it blows my mind.
Hi there, everybody. It sure is nice to be back here with you again. I'd like to take this opportunity of introducing you once again to my old partner and buddy, Fat Belly Jones. Let's hear it, folks.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, people. Thank you. Mighty glad to be back. Nice to see you. Real nice.
Of course, me and Fat Belly, we've traveled all over the world, and parts of Scotland, too. Yeah. And a lot of folks don't think that we're cousins, do they, Fat Belly?
No, they don't, Big Jim. No, that's true. They don't. No, they don't. No, I didn't know that myself. No, we're sort of half cousins, you know. He's a cousin, I ain't. No, that's just one of my little jokes. Wish I could think of one of my big ones.
I think maybe we'd better get stuck straight into the next song. This song was discovered by me and Fat Belly when we was walking across America.
Boy, that was quite a walk, wasn't it, Big Jim? Yeah, we was in the state of Tennessee, weren't we?
Right. Leastways, I was in the state of Tennessee. He was in the state of collapse. And suddenly this athlete ran by, throwing these little bits of paper in the air, sort of paper chase, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, and it turned out to be the manuscript of this song. It was all torn up into bits and thrown on the ground.
Yes, sir, it was just one of those songs that we just picked up as we went along.
Yeah.
And here it is. It's all about a pretty gal who kept saying the wrong thing. Hit it, Fat Belly.
Right, here we go now. My cousin Pauline was a Tennessee queen, as pretty a critter as you've ever seen. But she was so dumb that no matter how she tried, when she opened her mouth, she put her foot right inside. We knew what she meant, we knew what she meant. We heard what she said, but we knew what she meant. She invited the preacher to her house, they say. She said, it's a party, I'm 19 today. Ma bought me a dress and a bonnet so cute. So come round and see me in my birthday suit. We knew what she meant, we knew what she meant. We heard what she said, but we knew what she meant. She went to a dance hall one night on her own, and she smiled at a young man who stood all alone. He remarked that he'd not had the pleasure before. Yes, he answered, come on then, let's get on the floor. Well, we knew what she meant, we knew what she meant. We heard what she said, but we knew what she meant. One day she went into a department store, and she said to the guy who was stood by the door, I need some material to make a new belt. Perhaps you can tell me where I can get felt. Well, we knew what she meant, we knew what she meant. We heard what she said, but we knew what she meant. She said, I once met a guy with dark baby hair, so we rushed off to Alaska for a quick love affair. But I came back disappointed with a cold and a cough. We were both frozen stiff and I just broke it off. Well, we knew what she meant, we knew what she meant. We heard what she said, but we knew what she meant. We knew what she meant, we knew what she meant. We heard what she said, but we knew what she meant. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Will.
Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I want to say it's been real nice of you to let us break into your homes like this and steal a little of your time. Now, we're going to move on. I want you to know we really appreciated being with you a whole heap. Ain't we, Fat Billy?
Oh, yes, sir, Big Jim. Yes, sir, a whole big steaming great pile. Yes, sir. I'd just like to say goodnight and leave you with this little poem. Last night I saw my grandma. It seemed such a doggone shame. She looked $1 million, but we buried her just the same.
Now, a little song called The Girl Who's Gonna Marry Me. Bye now.
Bye now. She can sew, she can hoe, she can read, she can write, she can cook a man a breakfast in the middle of the night. She can cut up a chicken, she can cut down a tree. That's the girl who's gonna marry me. She can lick, she can jig, she can juggle, she can jump, she can drive a fella crazy with a wiggle of a rump. She can stand in the saddle, she can sit on your knee. That's the girl who's gonna marry me, yeah. She can choke, she can smoke, she can drink a dozen beers. She can move a grand piano, she can move a man to tears. She can pour out a heart, she can pour out your tea. That's the girl who's gonna marry me. She can bite, she can fight, she can hurt, she can fool. She can shoot the mountain lion, she can shoot the little bull. She's as fit as a bird and as fickle as a bee. That's the girl who's gonna marry me. Now play that thing now there, baby. Yeah, that's it. She can roast, she can toast, she can boil, she can bake, she can cut a bill of dead, she can cut a slice of cake, she can cook a belly's goose, she can fry a fricassee. Yep, that's the girl who's gonna marry me. She can sweet, she can weep, she can giggle, she can grin, she can play a little polka, she can play a little gin. She's spicy as a pickle and sweeter than a pea. She's the girl who's gonna marry me. She's the girl who's gonna marry me.
Well, that's all for this week. But first, some late news. A man was arrested on Beachy Head this evening for dropping a grandfather clock off the edge of the cliff and narrowly missing his wife, who had passed by a few seconds earlier. Said the man, that damn clock always was too slow.
And a chemist's shop in Eastbourne was broken into last night. The entire stock was taken, except for quantities of hair cream and the pill. Police are looking for a bald-headed Catholic.
And now a message from the police in Finchley. They stated today that of the 2 rabbits stolen last month from the Super Pet Pet Shop, only 14 have so far been recovered.
Next week, we hope to bring you news of the 48 that are still at large. We shall also be showing excerpts from the new BBC series The Cold It Story, and from a documentary about miners called The Cold Tips Story, and from a film starring Raquel Welch as an Eskimo. Which as yet has no title. Perhaps viewers may be able to think of one.
And so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night.